Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. And I have not done one of these in a while, a Dawn of X review, and I've got two books to review. So I will not be doing individual reviews for these. I'm going to kind of knock these both out at about the same time. These were good. For a giant size X-Men book, that's actually a really impressive thing to say. This was a good book, mostly because it had Magneto in it. I mean, it wasn't great. Nothing particularly woohoo happened in here, but maybe whatever. It's something. It's something. It's like Hickman's that guy who's just kind of like, and I seen this before. Hickman's kind of like, okay, so check this out. I've got this big long story. I'm going to tell this big long story. I'm going to have a little bit over here and a little bit over here and a whole bunch over here and one over there, one over there, one over there. And I'm going to get paid for all of them. Dude's just peppering us with books. And sometimes they feel like filler. And this really could have just been a filler issue, man. I feel like they're basically telling us, don't get the giant size X-Men books. There's no real need to get them. It was fun for what it was, what little tiny bit it was. It was fun. So there's that. Mind you, this is a full spoiler review, so I'm just going through everything. So we got a ship showing up. It's a sailing, well, not a sailing barge, but whatever. Yeah, it's a sailing barge, a diesel powered barge, shipping freight. They're going to be bringing all these shipping containers over and whatnot, and like nobody's here except Magneto. Just Magneto on the bow of this big old ship. And he goes up to an island, and then he just stands on the island. Hi, I'm Magneto. I'm on an island. And this dude comes up, and he's like, alas, navast matey. Okay, it's not quite like that. Anyway, he just comes, giant size X-Men. Nice one, Deromo. So anyway, dude shows up, and it's like, hey, what's up? What can I help you with, bud? And he's cool. He's a cool guy. And I'm actually really happy because this whole time I'm thinking either this Sea Captain Lighthouse guard is a mutant or Magneto's being especially nice today. Magneto is being especially nice today. So dude shows up, hey, how you doing? He's like, hi, so I'm interested in buying this island. He's like, well, I'm not actually the guy who can sell you the island, but the guy who can, I can go call him if you want. It's funny how, look, there's three people in this book. It's Magneto, it's Emma Frost, and it's Namor. Which one do you think it is? Who do you think the master of this island is, right? Never read the book before. Who do you think the master of the island is? Let's get talking about who made this comic book really quick, and then we'll go into it because I came to that page. Jonathan Hickman is the writer, Ramon Perez on art, David Curiel on colors, letters, VCs, Clayton Cowles, and Tom Mueller doing the design. Cover art by Ben Oliver, Esad Ribic doing the variant, Anthony Gambino on production. Jonathan Hickman is the head of X, and this issue, it's just Giant Size X-Men Magneto. And the majority of the X-Men, including Magneto, is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Bill Everett actually created Namor, though. It's not mentioned here. I don't know why Bill Everett, what is he, like the nephew of William Blakely, very famous poet, never mentioned, right? He also kind of sort of co-created Daredevil. Anyway, so X-Men chilling out. And we get I believe this is the first appearance. I've never seen this guy before. Saucio, what is his name? Saucier. I don't know. He looks like somebody spilled some sauce on him. This guy, Saucier. This was actually a really fun little bit of comic relief because he's just hanging out and he's just coming with his forearms. It's, you know what? What is it with Emma getting all these people with forearms together? Are we not paying attention to this? She's got that one dude, I can't remember his name right now, but that it's like on the tip of my tongue. The one dude with the forearms who does all her hairdresser, the clothing design and stuff like that. And now she got a four-armed mutant guy. Maybe it's only three. No, it's four. I see it's four. Four arms, and he's doing all the cooking and whatnot. Is she gonna hire Forearm to, like, I don't know, take out her garbage? What is up with Emma and the four-armed people, all the four-armed mutants? If you got it, if you're a mutant and you have a kid and it comes out with four arms, you got to be like, oh, my kid has gone missing. You know who's got it. I'm saying you know who's got it. All right. So anyway, this guy, apparently his mutant power, besides being ugly and having four arms, is that he is a totally awesome cook. So the mutant power of cooking, I'm down with that. You may think I'm not, but I'm Italian. I said, but very specifically, I'm Sicilian. So you know what? Bring the noise. This is my new favorite mutant. Boom, we're good. We're just good. Jumbo Carnation, thank you very much, Clifton Hatchet. So yes, I knew it was Jumbo. I'm just like it's on the tip of my tongue. Just a pro. Anyway, so somehow Magneto now has the ability to control glass. So he's Glassito. He picks up a wine bottle or a champagne bottle. I don't know what the hell. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, they're just talking, and it's like be a dear and top me off. You know what? There's champagne flutes, so there you go. I imagine it's champagne. So anyway, yeah, he has the ability to manipulate champagne and glass and stuff like that now. Because even if you say the cap, no, he's actually pointing that the cap goes over here. Would he use the cap and balance the thing? No, no, no. Freaking guy, he now has the ability to control. I don't know. Maybe the label has a little bit of. This is the. So Magneto's sitting there waiting, and he's told he's like, guy comes up again. He's like, so I contacted the owner of the island, and he'll be here when he feels like being here. He's like, yeah, that sounds like him. Shortly later, boosh! Like this is awesome. Right down here, boosh! Big gigantic like torpedo flies out and starts coming right towards Magneto, and he's just sitting there chilling. And then bam! It's Namor. I tried to buy a Namor figure. I've actually got one, the one in just the green scale mail underwear, because you got to protect the important parts. I tried to buy the Walgreens exclusive one, which is almost impossible to get up here in Canada. If anybody's got one, you want to, sell me one, good price, I'll buy it. I tried to buy one today. Somebody else went and scooped it up. I'm like, come on! Anyway, so Namor is here, and he's just like, hey, what's up? How you doing? He's like, you made me wait a pretty long time. He's like, well, I am a king. So that makes sense. I guess that all just makes sense. Anyway, it is cool because this really did capture the moment of who Namor is for a couple of minutes at least until I got later on in the books. They start having a conversation. He's just like, hey, so check it out. I'm not actually interested in buying your island. Emma Frost, the White Queen, is. So he's like, oh, well, never mind. I'm willing to deal with her. Now, the way that Namor is talking to Magneto is actually pretty epic, and I'm surprised that Namor even brought his trident. Maybe it's just me. I'm just thinking like he would be smart. Like, is it not magnetized somehow? Is it like non-ferrous? It seems odd, but whatever. Somehow, some way, you know what? The guy can control freaking champagne and glass, so who cares? He's gonna find a way to control this damn thing. So anyway, he just shows up, and it's like, I just figured he'd have been like, of all the people here, I'm the one person you can't mess with. Huh? What are you gonna do? I'll knock you out. And I love the idea that Namor could do that, but here it's just like, hi, here's my big metal sharp pointy stick, and I'm going to talk tough to you. It just doesn't sound like Namor. Namor's brash. Namor's arrogant. He's abrasive, but he's not stupid. I feel like he was really portrayed stupid in here. Can you tell I really like Namor? Anyway, so they go down, and all of a sudden, here's this big gigantic thing, and I'm just like, oh, gee, I've seen this before. Isn't this like the book Dagon? Plus, they made a movie called Dagon, which was actually took more from Shadow over Innsmouth, which both of them are actually H.P. Lovecraft stories directly from the master himself. So I just look at this, I'm like, it's Dagon. Well, kind of. It's more like Kraken. So the Kraken shows up, a Kraken, and kind of a funny moment. Worst piece of art in the entire bit right here. Namor's face looks really funky there. Like, what? I see what you were trying to do. It did not work. That should have been a quick sketch beforehand, but that really just kind of ruined it for me. Like how, it didn't ruin it, but I'm just looking like that's terrible. And I'm focusing on that. Meanwhile, there's all these panels with a Kraken. And it's funny because it's just like, bah, Kraken. It's always a Kraken. And he just goes and starts kicking butt and he beats up on the freaking Kraken. I thought it was actually pretty cool. He kind of beats up on the Kraken, but the Kraken's able to capture him and bring him and Magneto in and eat him. And inside the Kraken, they start having a conversation with some people. It's a very interesting digestive tract that they have. I don't understand. Anyway, so these sea creature thing people, females, are there. There's three of them, and there's three pillars. And I mean, we can clearly see there are three pillars, but there's a spiral on one and a stone on another. That's what they're described as. One of them is actually a crustacean looking thing, and the other one is stone, a glowing rock thing. And like, the people, the Atlantean dispensary that you sent down here, the team, the Discovery team, are all piles of bones just laying around here now. You can get what you want. I don't know what they want, but you can get what you want if you choose correctly. Will you choose the spiral or will you choose the stone? So he's like, Namor, stupidest character in the entire. Don't make a giant size Namor. Please don't make a giant size Namor. I'm not saying that Hickman hates Namor. What I am saying is he doesn't get Namor. He doesn't get Namor. Hickman's great with stories. I don't feel that he's good at all in the slightest with characters. That's something that's kind of bothering me right now. I know that's not an entirely true statement, but he really just doesn't get the individual X-Men or the mutants. And that's really troublesome. You could have the best stories in the world, but if you're writing for characters that you clearly don't understand or care about these characters, then why would you even bother? Write the plot, write the synopsis, and then give it to somebody who actually give it to Tom Taylor. More on Tom Taylor later when we get to this. Woohoo! So anyway, he goes and it's like, hi, I'll talk to this thing, and all of a sudden it's like it's actually a face hugger, and it starts like it starts deep throating him, and he's just like, ah, and you start checking to see if he's got a gag reflex, and that's just really weird. That's really weird. It starts getting like Atlantis after dark. So they're planning on eating him, and of course Magneto's like, Namor. Now I understand this book is called Magneto, so I get that Magneto's, and apparently Hickman finally got the idea that if we title a book something, we should actually have, if we title it after a character, we should actually have that character or those characters actually do something. The Emma Frost and Jean Grey one really didn't have a whole lot to do with Emma Frost and Jean Grey. It was mostly about Storm or whatever. I don't know. It was just call it the Silent Room. The giant size Nightcrawler one was the worst imaginable because it had absolutely nothing to do with Nightcrawler whatsoever. He's the one character that was entirely replaceable in the book, is what it is. In this one, they're like, oh, here we go. Look, we've got Magneto in the book, and he's going to do stuff in the book. Unfortunately, we're going to make everybody else in the book look like a freaking blethering idiot, including Namor, the very first super character ever written or drawn in the Marvel comics before they were even Marvel. Yeah, that's right. Way to pay homage. Namor's stupid now all of a sudden. Okay, sure. So they're like, well, you can save him if you choose correctly, but there's only one more choice that they were given. Again, they show 3 pillars. This is the next page. It looks the exact same, right? 3 pillars. One's already been chosen. The other one is, the stone. So he goes up. He's like, it seems like it should be the stone, but I clearly see 3 pillars behind you. So I'm going to choose that one. And that's the answer. That's how simple it was. 2 of the things die. One of the other thing is about to die. And it's like, here's this key thing. I don't know what this key thing is, but here you can have it. There it is. Here's this key thing. Look, it's yours. Enjoy your key. I don't know what it does. We don't find out by the end of the book. This is a really freaking weird book, dude. This is a really freaking creepy, freaky weird book. So anyway, they can leave the thing now, but there's no Kraken. I guess the Kraken also died. Everything died. I don't know what this was about. It gets even worse. It gets even worse because now Namor is just like, hey, thanks for saving me. I'm going to leave now. By the way, I went down there for this key, but apparently I'm not going to need the key. So here you go, Magneto. You can have the key. No, I'm serious. Magneto takes the damn key. He takes the key. Look, Namor's already left. He's like, bye. Namor left. Magneto's by himself. Hi. And he takes the key and he puts it inside of one of his pouches. Oh my God, this is probably the first time in comic book history somebody's actually used a pouch, and I'm really disappointed. Pouches are only supposed to be aesthetic. This pouch actually holds something. What the hell is going on? Anyway, so then now here's where it starts to get pretty cool, because I don't know what this key was about. I'm sure we'll find something about later, or maybe we'll never find out about it. Maybe it'll be in 7 years, Hickman will do another story, like, the Defenders or something like that. And all of a sudden that key will have something to do with that key. I don't feel like waiting for that. I'm so excuse me. So yeah, anyway, he takes this thing, the ship, all right? And he actually starts disassembling the entirety of the ship. He disassembles the whole thing. Look at that. That's awesome. That is epic. Oh my God, where are these hiccups coming from? Excuse me. So he disassembles the entirety of the ship to make something brand franking spanking new. He makes this whole big thing. And it's kind of cool. I gotta admit, it's kind of cool. Also, of course, the prerequisite, he's got to plant a tree because Magneto may be dressed in all white, but damn it, he's got one of the greenest thumbs out there. The person with the least green thumb would probably be Mystique, messing with things. I'm saying. So here, there's this new thing on this new island because he collects islands. So he made this thing because he's an architect now. Also, whatever. He's done it before. Remember Secret Wars? He made that whole anyway. So yeah, stuff. He does stuff, and there's like the Sentinel head on the front. I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this is about. But now here's the gate, and he pulls Emma in. Hey, how you doing? And I was expecting Emma and Namor to like get busy or something like that. That's what I would have expected. But yeah, so they've got this thing. Here's another angle, really beautiful thing, and then that's it. That's the end of the book. That's the end of the book. They start telling all these things, and at the end, this is even if you don't read Krakoan at this point, I'm practically fluent in Krakoan. I haven't lost a step because I'm sitting there. I read the thing right away. Phantom X, as if you couldn't see the freaking picture of Phantom X right up on top. Yeah, it's Phantom X. So anyway, this is about Phantom X. Did I like this book? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I am a little, I don't know. I'm a little underwhelmed though. I'm a little underwhelmed. It is what it is, man. I'm literally just looking at this as it's every time that I buy one of these giant size X-Men books, whatever it's titled, it's gonna be something where it's like I have to go into it knowing that this is just disposable income that I'm using because it's not anything pretty much. There's not going to be anything with it. Oh man, another one shot better than the Kurt Wagner one, dude. There could be a one shot of freaking Magneto picking his nose, and as long as you call it giant size X-Men Magneto or giant size Magneto's nose, as long as Magneto is actually the one picking his own nose or his nose is being picked, we're good. We're good because the Nightcrawler one was just booty. Reminds me of the throne Magneto sat upon when Moira Charles showed up from the Hoxpox trilogy, right? The Trinity. Yeah, brings a giant metal spear and torpedoes and torpedoes to Eric Leshner. Disney planting seeds for the Marvel Aliens comics. Could they be? You think that's what they're doing in this? I don't know. I don't know. But here's something entirely different. This half of this book was great. Unfortunately, the half that you're looking at was not the great part. On the back, it's just this. But these free comic book day books, they do things a little bit differently. They always have half a comic book is devoted to something. So the first half is the X-Men story. It's the free comic book day 2020 X-Men book came out yesterday. It's free. Go grab it because mind you, it's X-Men X-Men. It's free comic book summer. And next week, make sure you get your Spider-Man book, the free comic book Spider-Man version. All of your comic book stores should be getting it this week. All the other ones they've already got. But and some of them could be pretty cool. Like for instance, the Ranger Slayer from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's going to be in the Ranger. I've actually already got that one. All that stuff like this already got. But the Spider-Man one that's on hold because the Donny Cates Venom story, that half that's in there, is going to feature a brand new symbiote, a brand new character, and that's clearly going to be a big deal. So check that out. Also, don't forget to check out my Venom review because it might be important for new characters. Okay, so this X-Men book, Jonathan Hickman and Tini Howard are the writers. That right away freaks me out, but hey, Pepe Larez on art, Marty Gracia on color art, VC's Clayton Cowles doing the letters, the design by Tom Mueller, Pepe Larez and Marty Gracia doing the cover art, Nick Russell doing the production. Hickman is still the head of X, and yeah, we're good. So we get this is typical Hickman. Like Hickman has his own tropes in comic books. There's comic book tropes, there's Hickman tropes. Here's one of his major tropes. Let's introduce some so totally ridiculously awesomely powerful characters that can do whatever they want, and eventually we'll have a team beat them. Eventually, they'll get their butt kicked, and then for absolutely no reason in the world, they will suddenly get beaten later on because we tried a little bit harder. Like I said, story, right? So check this out. Boom. Here's these new guys. So new characters in this free comic book day book as well. There should be. There's this dude, Quadius Quo. Quadius Quo. Whatever. So this, I like that. Look, the art in here is really, really good. All right. I like this fish head. Like these are, whatever. It's a minotaur with half a horn broken off, and there's a little gold cap on it. What's the name of that one dude? I never even bought the toy. They have the toy out, and I never bothered to buy the toy. What's the one golden guy with the Infinity stuff? And he's like the head. It was New Avengers issue #1, I think, was his first appearance, or Avengers World. Avengers World issue 1 was his first appearance. Somebody remind me of his name because yeah, it's something Latin-ish, right? Something to that effect. Anyway, like completely useless character for the most part. Like honestly, what did he do? So here's another one, and a whole bunch of people who probably won't mean much of anything, but whatever it is, what it is. But I do like the way that she's designed. I like the way all of them are designed for the most part. I really like the way she's designed. It's very Lovecraftian, very Dagon-ish, and it only gets more Lovecraftian because she's like, oh, the sun is older than that, but this is older than the sun, and the new and it's new and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so Shumagorath gets, it's not actually Shumagorath, but something like Shumagorath comes out of the sun as the dude is bringing it, and then they like turn it into a bunch of different gelatinous goo stuff. Look, now you are a Clintar. Bunch of stuff, and then they leave and like, don't be sad, everything dies, whatever. And then like we're here at this place doing the thing. And Emma Frost comes down, and there's like this eye that opens up from stuff, and then she starts looking, and then she starts playing with. And look, June Moon is here from the Suicide Squad, so that's fun, and crossover. And then she starts looking at tarot cards. So that's all that happens in the rest of this. The Judgment, the Four of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Eight of Cups, and of course the Ten of Swords. So they don't say the X of Swords, they say the Ten of Swords because, and whatever. It's like somebody's going to betray somebody. And of course, Apocalypse has a Kopesh, because why wouldn't he have a Kopesh of all swords, I'm digging Ex Nihilo. Thank you very much, Clifton. He just Googled that one really quick. So, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. And next, X of Swords. It doesn't even say 10 of Swords. And we've got the numbers in the Krakoan system, but it demands to say X of Swords. Here it says 10 of Swords. Here it says X of Swords. Dude, we don't need it. We don't need it. Whatever. I kept on thinking to myself, maybe one of these days there's going to be one of these things that I should read and I won't because I'm bored with them. Today wasn't the day with either of these books. So now we're going to get into something. So what is this? This is just a prelude. Look, get the stupid book because it's got the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's got the new characters that may or may not be important at some day, and it's a free book. So just go get it, put it in a Mylar bag, put it in a cardboard backing, and stuff it in your comic books thing with a little bit of tape maybe, and then just forget about the book. And then one day somebody comes along and says, somebody, not Hickman, somebody else came along and did something great with Ex Nihilo and, this dude over here, and it's cool. And what's their first appearance? You could be like, I have that stupid book. And suddenly it'll make sense. You can actually get money for something you got for free. And that's the way currency works. I make something that I don't want for something that I do want, your money. And then we try and make a trade. Yes. So can you tell I'm in really rare form today? So now we're going to get into something totally epic. Here's a story. And mind you, hold for this because you're going to freak. So boom, here's Pepper Potts yelling at Tony, come home. Tony's like, I can do stuff. And then like there's bad stuff happening. He's like, there's earthquakes everywhere, not just where you are, Peps. So get down in the basement. But the elevator gets stuck on the way. He can't do anything about it. He's trying to get back home. There's nothing he could do. Finally, when the chips are down and your armor suddenly isn't working because everything's falling apart, including cell phones, everything's falling apart. All electricity is stopping. All machines are stopping. Everything is stopping. Who do you call? the one guy who doesn't need a goddamn suit. Boy, you call Captain America. That's right, the guy you say you hate the most. You call Cap. So Cap's like, "What's up, Iron Man?" He's like, "Cap, help!" Only half of the help gets. He tries to say Avengers Assemble. It's more like Avengers Ass. It says Avengers Ass, doesn't it? Okay, it doesn't say as Avengers Ass. It says Avengers Assemb. Because let's be realistic, you don't actually want it to say Avengers Ass because that would just be wrong, right? So it says Avengers Assemb. I guess you could figure out the rest. So what do you call it? There's a plane falling. He tries to stop it. He can't. He actually makes it worse because the plane hits him and he hits the plane. So that plane is going to crash. It crashes into the side of a building. Actually, he crashes into the side of a building. And look what happens. Tony Stark's foot gets severed. There's blood. That's blood. He screams, "Ah, mother fathead!" Dude, homeboy loses his foot. Yo, what? The plane crashes. I don't think that was just a drone. I mean, I'm not seeing any passengers in it, but like that looks like it has some consequences. And then he crashes right into Stark Plaza. Lucky for him. Pepper comes up. He's footless. The bottom of his armor's all messed up. His mustache is showing. And he's like, it's all gone dark forever. Like, it's just really weird. He doesn't say forever, but this is a new book that's going to be out. And this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Dark Ages. If you're not excited about this, let me make you a little bit more excited. Look who's making the book. Yeah, that says Tom Taylor. Tom freaking Taylor. Tom Ace in the Hole Taylor. When your comic book company has been putting out events that nobody cares about, call Tom Taylor. He fixed it for DC. He'll fix it for Marvel. A lot of times people say, "Hey, so Professor, are you excited?" He's being saved by America's ass. I'll get back to the comments in a moment. Nice one, DKN. So check this out. He what was I going to say? Damn, I was just pulled. Okay, so a lot of times people ask me, "Professor, are you excited about this, that, and the other thing?" And I always say, no, I don't get excited over comic books. You know what I'm saying? At least I don't get excited over anticipating comic books because a comic book could be good. And if I get all excited over it, maybe it's not going to live up to my expectations. So I usually go in with a very, not even pessimistic, I just go in very stoically. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's a new event coming out. It's probably going to suck. You know what I'm saying? Let me buy it and read it and see what's going on. And I get there. And at the very least, hopefully it exceeds my expectations of it's probably going to suck. So I can say, well, this didn't suck. It was pretty good. I don't go in and it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this event. I don't do that. But if I were to do that, it would be this with this one. So we've had several different versions of this story just from the media onset being told, but this is Tom Taylor doing it. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to see this. So all the power goes out. Tony Stark, a footless Tony Stark now. Tony Stark is going to be like barely useful at all if he can't use his technology, right? In some way, shape, or form. But also footless? Nah, man. Footless Tony's pretty much useless at this point. You know what I'm saying? Money isn't going to mean a whole lot in the Dark Age. Like, y'all, you got to think about what this means. I'm a prepper. I prepare because I never want the Dark Ages to come back. But if they did, I would at least have a slightly good chance of surviving it. You know what I'm saying? Not that I would necessarily even want to, but yeah. Check it. Dark Ages. Suddenly, all electricity doesn't work anymore. Suddenly, technology as we know it doesn't work anymore. We go back to the 8 basic simple tools. Do you even know what the 8 basic simple tools are? Most of us don't. So we'd have to go back to that. Reverse engineering things isn't going to be much of anything. Hey, how many people here actually know how to start a fire, right? Without a lighter, because the lighters would probably still work. But fuel sources, they're going to be, that fuel is going to be that's going to be worth a lot more than that crappy green paper money, right? No, you think about fuel sources, how important they're going to be. But even then, can you go out in the woods right now and start, like, what do you do? You're going to grab 2 sticks and start rubbing together? You'll be there forever. That will never work. That doesn't work. 2 sticks, that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Can you do the hand method, right? take a bowstring and the bowstring method and make that work on top? Is there something? What do you do? What do you do? Do you know how to make a fire? No. Most of us have lost the original thing. Look, what is a civilization? What is a civilization? It's a whole bunch of people come together and they have mastered tool use, they've mastered agriculture, and they've mastered fire use. Those are the three things that you need in order to even begin a civilization. And then you start to get an economy because more people come in. It's like, I have something that you want, or some skill that you want, or some monetary thing that you want. And you have something that I want, namely food, or something to that effect, right? So people sharing skills and whatnot, finding a common currency. Dude, if we actually go back to the dark ages, we're screwed. We're screwed. Plus, we're going to be open to invasion because if we don't have tech anymore and other people do, land. The only way that you're actually going to be of any importance is if you're a landowner. That's what knights were back in, the round table and all that stuff. Knights were landowners. That's what made them important. Do you think it was the knights who went out and fought? The knights were the people who were basically like, higher than vassals. And it's like, hey, I'm the king and you have a lot of land. I'm going to make you a knight as long as you, declare allegiance to me and whatnot. And if we ever have to fight, you get a bunch of people together and you lead them. But, you send them in to fight. It's not the knights that fight. It's not the knights that fight. It's the people. It's the serfs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the deal. Like, things will completely fall apart. Tom Taylor is doing Deceased over in DC right now. And he's got 3 different things running at the same time for the most part. Plus, he's got that one shot. Every single one of them amazingly good. And now he's going to be doing something like that here? I don't even need to see zombies in here. Just Dark Ages? Sign me up. Anyway, this is looking hot as it stands already. So I can care less about anything X-Men that came out this week because characters just written as blah and some stories just, blah, blah. So, but that thing in the back of the book, that saved that book in a major way. Major way. So, plus first appearance of Tony Stark's severed foot. There's that. Okay, let's check out some comments. I'm going to get in here. Next series on the channel, Professor Bill on Cocoa and literature. If they did start making literature, I would read it. The funny thing is, so would you, DKN. So, hey, don't forget to check out Dark Knight Nation's channel. All things DC, especially Batman. John Wright, last good giant-sized X-Men was good. The Confusion, the original Old Man Logan. I'm not going to disagree with you on there. Hey, what's up, Raven? I have the Infinity Gauntlet novel on my art table. Oh, the novel? They made a novel for it? Sweet. But he's being saved by Americans. They have this sounds like the comic book Dark Ages, but the Marvel Universe, same premise, but different characters. Could be. It could be. Yeah, the Dark Ages comic book. I read the first issue. I did a review of the first issue. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, like they could have established the world a little bit better first, but they already got the portrayal thing. They tried to do the whole Ned Stark. I'm surprised they killed what I thought was the main character right away. Maybe an accordion doesn't have to be folded in all the time. You got to expand it in order to be able to make the noise. It goes both ways, right? Anyhow, what was that Emma or the Luna lady from the last few Excalibur comics? Wait a second, was it? It looked like Emma. I don't know. Looks like Emma to me. Maybe it is. I see what you're saying. Oh, crap. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, I think that is the Luna chick from the Excalibur thing, the one that I'm trying not to read, but unfortunately I have to. You know what? I'm gonna have to meet up with Chillmonger one of these days and just bam, just hit him right in the head because he was sitting there swearing to me up and down. No. There's no reason why you should have to read all of the books. All of the books that came before this are pretty much unnecessary to read. You could just read all the individual chapters. The chapter saying that I have to read all the books. Yeah, you have to read all the chapters of the individual books. That's not how comic books have ever worked, specifically in Marvel. We all know the order for X-Men Inferno, but it's not just X-Men. It's New Mutants. It's X-Factor. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of different books entitled, plus there's the tie-ins. And you don't necessarily need the tie-ins for the Inferno event, but it would help. Otherwise, you don't know where the Demo Goblin came from. So I'm saying Some of them are kind of important anyway. Um, what do you call it? All of this, dude. You have to read everything. You have to read everything, and you have to know what happened before because that stuff leads into other stuff. Like here's this character that if I wasn't reading, and I did read the Excalibur comic books, I just barely paid attention to them. Even with reading them, I didn't recognize her because it is what it is. Crap. That means at some point I'm gonna have to go back and read my least favorite part of the Dawn of X books. Also, it's supposed to be something cool in here because they say at one point, this is the trade. Can I actually find the part in here where they say it? I think it was the last thing it said. Oh yeah. 10 of Swords, betrayal. Betrayed by those who would show your back. By those you would show your back. By those you would show your back to. English matters. A loss, but an expected one. And the final thing that said, one always expects a sunset hours after the dawn. Translating to the end of the Dawn of X. Boom. Now we're on to the 10 of Swords, the X, if you will, of Swords. Come on, man. Come on. Like I'm supposed to be impressed by what you think is a hefty bit of writing. No, it's not. It's not that great. It's not that great. I have enjoyed doing these Dawn of X preview thing, or not previews, spoiler reviews and whatnot. I don't think I'm going to be around to be doing a lot of this 10 of Swords stuff because right now, I'm really just not digging everything. This has to tie into something important. This can't just be it. At this point, I'm looking for Magneto to just go and hit that safety room latch and go back into the Age of X-Men universe with Nate Gray because I'm not enjoying this so far. Like it's I've been expecting to get better. It's been progressively getting better. And then at some point, it just kind of like, boop, lemmings off the side of a cliff. And I'm not a lemming and I'm not going down with any ships. So I just see this kind of dipping. I see this just not being that great, but it is what it is. You know what? I am going to bug out. I forgot to put on my glasses. I'm going to bug out. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go take a nap with my Yiddle. Remember, it's Yiddle. And he's going to be like, all of you, make these books better. The power of the Force compels you. Because I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. How am I more excited for death metal than I am for this? It's got a lot. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to go. I'm going to get a nap. You guys take it easy. Love y'all. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.